Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. And I am revamping for our page now the Tuesday talks that wanted to start pre-pandemic, and then pandemic happened, and now I'm picking it back up again, even though pandemic is still happening. But I'm excited today to talk with you guys a little bit about nutrition and our bodies after we have a baby. And with me is Naieema, Nutritionista.
Yes.
Love this.
Yes.
Naieema is here with me today, and we're going to chat a little bit about that kind of balance that we try to find, like after we have a baby, where we don't want to be hyper focused on quote, losing a bunch of weight, but we do want to be focused on health and vitality, and we want to feel good in the body
Yes.
that we're in. So Naieema, tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Thank you for letting me be here, Malia. I am Naieema, the Nutritionista. I'm a PhD prepared registered nurse. I'm also a nutrition coach to women, right? So I help you figure out how to infuse nutrition in your life to be the best you. And the best you is determined by who you want it to be, not by what society tells you it is.
Mm.
Right? So I use nutrition as a vehicle to help women take care of themselves and to help them say, I don't want to do what society wants me to do. I want to do what I want to do for my body.
Oh, that's good. And I like the thought of it being an infusion. Like, this is
Yes.
something we're going to bring in. It's not about taking things away.
No,
And, it's about bringing in that infusion that's what we feel like we need, right? During
absolutely.
postpartum, because, our energy, we're not sleeping, and there's a lot going on. So, tell me what you feel. You've had kids, and so what was your postpartum experience like, and how did you feel about your body?
Um, After my first one, I don't think I even thought about my body. I was so stressed out, I was overwhelmed. And it
Yes.
sounds so bad, but I was like, oh my gosh, this child is mine and I can't sleep and she needs me, right? So
Mm.
I literally, Malia, I shared this with you, but I literally ate Snicker bars all day, every day for like weeks because it was right by the bed. It was right wherever I needed it to be. I didn't have to worry about me. But then I realized I was drained.
Mm.
I was so drained because I wasn't nourishing my body and because I had to care for a newborn who wasn't sleeping, right? Once I got to my second baby and I was older, I was more mature, and I kind of understood nutrition a little better. I started to meal plan before I even had the baby. And then once I had the baby, there was stuff in the freezer waiting for me. And then my husband, I was like, look, dude, I done gave birth to this whole baby here. I need you to help me meal plan. And he literally helped me do that because I couldn't do it by myself. I know society tells us that we're supposed to do it all, right? I realized that that's not something I can do. So that's really what helped me in my postpartum period with my second baby.
Oh, wow. So that's great. You brought your husband, your partner, into that with you.
Yes.
And you're right. We do kind of feel like we should be able to do it all. And that's
Mhm.
part of why we get so burned out, which what leads to grabbing a Snickers bar
Yeah,
for right? Like, so yeah, and just understanding that you don't have to do this alone. Like, that it's okay uh to pull somebody in to be on the journey with you,
absolutely.
and then that models that for your family too,
Absolutely.
is that
Absolutely.
this is a lifestyle, this is what we do.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. So what do you feel like are some of the things that new moms, anywhere in that first year postpartum, who are wanting to keep their bodies energized and healthy, keep their milk supply up, but also who might not feel comfortable in this body. This body is not the body they're used to, and we want to validate that feeling too. What are some of the things that you feel like those moms can do to help start on that journey to feeling more healthy and having more vitality?
Oh, I love this question because we do have to acknowledge that some people don't feel their best right now in the postpartum period. And I think I can relate to that, especially with my second baby. I would literally be holding my baby, outside, and somebody would ask me, "When are you due?" And it really hurt my feelings because I felt like, wow, you see a small baby in my arms. You really shouldn't ask me that. It really kind of brought me down. So I think I would say some things that helped me is first and foremost acknowledging that that made me feel bad. It made me feel bad not to be in a body that I wanted to be in, but I didn't stay there. I acknowledged how I felt, and then I started doing the work on, hey, I'm beautiful at any stage, but I'm working towards a goal of, losing weight. And I like to equate it to college. What? Yes. If you go to college, like I went to college to be a nurse, I didn't hate myself because I wasn't a nurse yet. I accepted every process and every stage, and I worked toward a goal without beating myself up. Even if I had a failure in a course, even if I had a failure on an exam, I kept working toward my goal. So if
Mhm.
your goal is a smaller body, a different body, whatever you want your body to look like, don't beat yourself up now, because even when you get there to that goal, you're just going to find something else to beat yourself up about.
Mhm.
So if I can tell you, just acknowledge how you feel, and then secondly, be kind to yourself as you work toward your goal. That's the second thing. The third thing I would say is try your best to focus on whole foods. And when I say whole foods, I mean things that are grown. So that things that don't require you to prepare much, right? Put a little fruit bowl on your countertop that you can grab and eat as you go with the baby, right? I would also say if you can meal prep once a week, if you have a crock pot, it's your best friend. Cut you
Mm,
up some chicken, put it in that crock pot, let it cook it for you. Freeze those meals and have it throughout the week so you're just grabbing, heating up, and you are not really thinking too much about your nutrition. But it's enough to keep you nourished and keep your breast milk flowing. So those are the three things I would say for moms to do right now.
that's good. That's good. Now, what I hear a lot of women do, I see this in a lot of mom groups and stuff, is out, you know, and it seems like everybody's having one of these days at the same time. Like, women, when we're all together in a group, we tend to collectively experience things. And so we'll have a day in the postpartum group where everybody feels yucky about their body. And what always comes up is, I just need to stop eating carbs. I need to, like that's the demon. That's the devil. That's the
Mhm.
thing that's getting me. Is that what is that what we need to do? Is that
Absolutely not. In fact, studies show that when people go on like a low carb diet to lose weight, 85 to 95% of them will regain the weight and more because your body was never meant to sustain on low carbs. Okay. What studies show is that you need moderate carbs, a moderate amount of carbs that are typically your whole food carbs, such as brown rice, such as sweet potatoes, such as white potato. Even though people think white potatoes are bad, they're not. Okay. The problem is the white breads, the white rice, the white pastas, because your body does not have to work to break down those extremely processed carbohydrates. And because your body doesn't have to work to break them down, it decreases your metabolism and it forces your body to store fat. But when you give it a whole food carbohydrate, like yeah, like a sweet potato or brown rice, your body actually has to work to break those down. Your metabolism is boosted and it doesn't leave as much fat on us. So it's not about no carbs, it's about which ones you eat and how
that's
you eat them.
yeah, so it sounds like those give us more energy too.
Yes, 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 right? Because we need carbs for energy, right? There's no way our body can function without carbohydrates. We need it for energy because carbohydrates breaks down into sugar and our body's able to use that. And new moms, we need energy, right? Able
Mhm.
to use that to be up at night with baby, to breastfeed and do the things that we do in the postpartum period.
Right. And my understanding is that those whole food carbs also contribute a lot to our nervous system health. And so we typically, because we're sleep deprived, we're not, our anxiety tends to be higher when
Hmm.
we're a new mom because everything's new and we're not sleeping like we're used to. And so it sounds like, that's also a good plan for helping to sort of regulate our mood too.
It's absolutely true. If you think about it, our brains cannot function without sugar. And no, I'm not saying go eat white sugar. I'm talking about the good carbs that break down into sugar. So much so that I don't know if you guys know diabetes. People with diabetes have to take their blood sugar. If their blood sugar drops too quickly or too low, they can have seizures. Why? Because the brain can't function without sugar.
Mm.
So we need carbs. We need them. In fact, anything or anyone that tells you to run from them, oh, don't eat carbs, you need to run from them.
Listen, I like hearing that because I
Yeah,
love my carbs.
yeah.
I
Car-
do. I
They're
mean,
necessary. They're necessary. Like when
yeah.
I lost my 30 pounds, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I have a hormonal condition. So it's very difficult to lose weight. And I was able to lose the weight and lose the 30 pounds while eating white potatoes. I ate French fries on my way down. I just learned how to do it, how to balance, have a nutritious, more whole food diet so that my body can flourish and I can have the energy I need to do what I need to do.
I love that. And so, how do you teach people to do that? What programs or services do you have available for people who say, it sounds exactly like I want to do? I want to be able to eat my carbs, but I do want to feel better about my body. So, how do you work with them?
Well, I am a nutrition coach, so I usually work with my clients via Zoom. But if you want a quick synopsis or a quick preview of what we would do together, I'm having a free 5-day weight loss work jumpstart, right? On September 28th, it starts. And we're going to talk in detail about how to infuse carbs into your everyday living so that you can get to the body and also the energy level that you want to get into. We're also going to talk about strategies for consistency. You're busy, baby's crying, you're exhausted, right? You have other expectations, you may have other children. How can you infuse nutrition throughout your life rather than making your life about food,
Mm,
right? We go over each of those things and how to shift your mind from diet mindset to just being friends with food again, right? These are the things that we're definitely going to cover in that 5-day workshop. That's really going to get you to where you need to be in a quick amount of time. And
I
when I say
love that.
yes,
Yeah, I love that because it sounds like it's not a system of rules. It's not a system of what to keep out. It's that system of what can I bring in.
what can you bring in? How can you fit it around your life? Not how can oh, I can't go out and eat. Why not? Why not? Because diets have taught us if you want to, if you want to be energized, if you want to lose weight, don't eat out. Don't eat a carb. Have a cheat day. What what are these things, right? As new moms, you're stressed out enough. You have real things to be concerned with. Food should not be something that we're stressed out about.
Mm, I love that. So you're basically teaching women to have a good relationship, a healthy relationship with food, and not a disordered relationship
Yes,
that makes food like the enemy or something you're always battling. I love that.
absolutely.
I
And that's what
love that.
I think we got to get there. Like I read a study that said that Americans think it's easier to do their taxes than to know what to eat
Oh,
that's health, than to know what to eat for health. I was like, what? What is this true? This was well, maybe like 3 years ago when I read that. I was like, what is this? And this is when I realized that as a nurse, I have to be a part of the solution.
mm, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Well, do you have a website? Where can people find you?
Yes. My website where you can go and register for the free 5-day workshop is mindset, like your mindset, and nutritionforher.com. Mindset and nutritionforher.com.
Nice. I love that. Well, I'm excited for what you're doing, and I think it's going to be so helpful to so many people. And I love that you're a nurse, so I know that you know what these mamas need,
Yes.
and all the aspects of that. So I really appreciate you coming and sharing with us today and giving us some good tips and reminding us that we can have a really beautiful relationship with food, that it
Yes.
doesn't have to be a set of rules or or
It
worse
shouldn't
than
be.
taxes.
Yeah. And if you ever try to do your taxes.
No, like, oh no.
Yes. So I just I truly appreciate you, Malia, for allowing me on your platform. And what I say to everybody, every time I'm on these type of platforms, is I want to remind every woman listening that you need to smile because you are beautiful. And it doesn't, your weight, your energy, your postpartum state does not determine that.
Mm, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So, thank you, Naima. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this Tuesday talk, if you want to hear more about uh, subjects like this and what other things you might want to hear about. And go over to Naieema's website, check out her offerings, and I'll see you on the next Tuesday talk.